What a hedgy. I hope I got it right. And sorry, that's the only word in Spanish that I know. Portuguese. Yeah, right. I know more in Spanish. That's the only word in Portuguese that I know. So I'm from Ukraine, as Rajmohan Gandhi has told all of you. And that's my first time to Brazil, and this is my first time to Latin America, and this is my first time to American continent in general. So for me, it has been really a voyage of discovery. Discovery of your country, of your culture, of people, of nature, of football. Very important. And also, I'm very glad that now I have got a chance to tell you a bit more about my own country and about work of initiatives of change in Ukraine and in Eastern Europe. And I hope that will be a bit of discovery for you as well. So in Ukraine there is this program called Foundations for Freedom, which started in 1993 because of initiatives of change, and also because of conviction of one man called Eric Andren, who was English, British gentleman, architect. And I would like to tell you lots of different stories and the history of how it all developed and all the background. But I picked up one project that I want to tell you. And I picked up this particular project because I think that is a very good illustration of what we do. Also because it's been going on right now in Ukraine, and I just received a newsletter from Ukraine telling about all the stories of this project, and it was a great joy. And the third reason why I want to tell you about it is because I have been indirectly involved into creating the idea and creating the concept. So I can tell you it's from my personal experience. So the project is called Ukrainian Action 2010, 2 dots, Healing the Past. And in Ukraine, there is a huge need for dialogue, huge need for discovery of each other and for reconciliation between Ukrainian population and Russian population of the country. Russian people live in the east of the country, mostly Russian-speaking population, and Ukrainian-speaking people live on the rest of the country. And we share the same country, and we share the same heritage of Soviet Union regime. And this is the heritage of dictatorship and hypocrisy. This is a heritage of civil war in World War II, and this is a heritage of labor camps and man-made famine. We share the same heritage, but we treat it very differently. Ukrainian people feel very bitter of everything what has happened, and they blame Russian side for it. And Russian people, they have nobody to blame. We are too big. So we prefer to think that nothing has happened, and we prefer to pretend that past is past, let's look into the bright future. And both sides feel very much irritated about the approach of each other. And I'm of Russian background. I grew up in the east of the country. My parents are of Russian origin. And I had and have a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, who is from western part of the city, of the country, Ukrainian-speaking part and Ukrainian origin. So we were and we are very good friends, very good colleagues, working together and getting on well on everything except on the topic of history. And every time when we talked to each other about history, about what has happened, every time we would quarrel. We were like two cities, each playing her own music, not being able to listen to each other. We both prayed for understanding of our own pain, and we were not able to put it aside and to listen to the story of another person, about the pain of another person. But fortunately, both of us, in Foundations for Freedom and Initiatives of Change in general, we practice this time of silent reflection. Time when you can sit silently and have some time with your own conscience and listen to your own conscience. So at some moment of this silent reflection, I had a very simple thought that If you want to be proud of everything what your nation has, beautiful Russian literature, music, philosophy, religious tradition, if you want to be proud of all of this, you also need to take responsibility for all the bad things that your nation has done to other nations, all the bad things that we have done to Ukrainians. And that hasn't been an easy thought, because it meant for me that I need to put aside my own pain and my own cry that we also have suffered. It's not only others, we also have suffered. But also I knew that that is very much true, and that I need to go and to apologize for what our nation has done to others. And it hasn't been easy, but I went and I apologized for Olga, to this girl that we had conversations about history. And that was for the first time when we were able to listen to each other. And she listened to my story and I listened to her story. And we cried. Both of us cried. And out of this experience, Olga has decided to create a project and to widen it, and to allow other people of Ukraine to listen to stories of each other. And right now, there is this project called Ukrainian Action 2010, Heal in the Past. And there is a group of young people traveling all over Ukraine and listening to the stories of people who have suffered, who have what to share, and learning the history, not through textbooks that are always different with every government in Ukraine, but learning history from life stories of people. And I really hope that this kind of project and these kind of actions can change our country and can bring real reconciliation between both sides. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena. So now we will go